Let's see if we can share. For streaming, what can I do? 480 maybe? See what we can do to balance this out a little bit. Close that dude. All right. Make sure if anyone's on here watching, they post comments in the YouTube chat so I can see it. Oh, what up, Brock? Yeah, that's right. Welcome to Biff's Bench. Brock, I posted it on the BiffFPV Facebook page. I know you can't share out of the group on Rhino community, but if you have anybody who want to watch this, could you share that for me? Appreciate it. Also, are you having trouble viewing me? Alrighty, I am going to just kind of dive on in. If I see your stuff pop up in the YouTube chat, if you have any questions, I can answer there. Oh, why the hell am I offline? Dude, chillin'. If I'm having technical difficulties. Shit. Alright, let's try this again. Streaming. Okay, and we're back. It looks like I have good internet now. I think. Thanks for bearing with me here. Oh yeah, the delay's much better now. Alright, Brock, I see, yeah, good on volume, all that, good deal. Make sure you say what's up. Alrighty, I'm gonna dive right in. Let me go ahead and mute myself. Okay, so this is the Icarus V2. It normally comes base plate, roll cage, and all that. I had it built up, and my original build had a 20 by 20 stack. Thank you, Brock. And yeah, it was nice. I think it weighed around like 170 grams or something like that. And it was fun, all right, but I just kind of put it away for a while and decided that I want to do a little bit of change up. So the configuration that I've been thinking up over the past week is doing a kind of a bottom mount stack, kind of like Tommy does with the Remix, and then putting the battery on top and actually mounting the camera right here. So I ordered a little like whoop camera. I got the one with the helical, and as soon as I got it and sent a picture to Qualls, he's like, why didn't you just use a dipole? It'd be more durable. He's absolutely right. If you're going to do this, get one with a dipole. And when I break this, I'll end up putting a dipole on there. So we're going to make a mount that mounts back here, wraps around to protect the stack, and then comes around the battery where the camera mounts, and then the top part of the 3D printed mount will actually be strapped down by the battery strap. Right now I have the battery strap around the stack just because I need to put longer screws in here and I didn't feel like wasting more time doing that. So the first thing you need, and if you're doing any type of 3D printing or any type of design, you really need a good set of calipers, and by good enough to get the job done. I got this at Harbor Freight and it's been fantastic. So got this, got your notepad and something to write with. We're going to take some measurements on here. So I got this 16 by 16 stack off the Rhino shop, and some of the stuff is a little more dated but should still work really well for the purpose. So this came with the JST. I put an XT30 on there already, and yeah, this should be solid. So what we're going to do is first I'm going to take the measurement of the stack and the room that I need, so then we can take all the stuff off and just get to the mounting holes. Yeah, Brock, I mean, Harbor Freight is, granted, it's like a brick and mortar Banggood for tools, but it's, when you need a cheap tool that gets the job done, it works out well. So first thing I'm going to do is measure how much height I need out of the deal here. So I'm gonna, let's do it this way so you can see it. So I'm going from the base to just beyond the mounting screws, and let's go ahead and make that 12.5 millimeters tall. Let's go to my handy dandy book. If you don't carry one already, these little notebooks are fantastic for when you need to like do just throughout the day if you need to jot something down. I prefer the graph paper. So we're just going to draw a little picture here and write the measurements. So we're just going to do a little doohickey like that, because that's kind of what our mount's going to look like. So from here down, we're going to go 12.5. Alright. And the next thing I want to measure is how much we need here to here for room. So give yourself a little bit of extra room. There's nothing wrong with that. So let's just go ahead and make it 23. And then while we still got this on there, I want to take a measurement from the top of the battery to the bottom of the base plate. So I got a loose 14 right there. Yeah, so let's go 14. Alrighty, so now let's go ahead and strip this stuff off. Yeah, look at that little stack. Ain't that adorable? This is the flight controller, the receiver, and the ESC all in this tiny. Granted, I have large hands, but it's a tiny little deal. Alright, now that we got that off, let's go ahead, and you can see here on the plate you have the 16 by 16, the 20 by 20, and then these are where the original roll cage soft mount went, and that's what we're actually going to base. That's where our 3D print is going to mount to the frame. Alright, so we're going to do another drawing. Where we're just going to go circle, 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 circle. There's our mounting points, and we'll just draw this for reference. This is the 16 by 16. And then we'll have, this is the front, and this is the back. So now that we have that, we're going to take our calipers and we're going to measure the length of the two mounting holes. I'm going to go outside to outside, and then we'll base our, actually let me flip it over this way, and then we can put our holes, match them up that way. Alright, so I'm seeing 36. So we're going to write 36 this way. Our width outside, hang on. Dog's being annoying. Hey, go in the house. Go on. She's not happy about it. Alright, 32 width outside to outside. 32. Hang with me one second. I'm going to lock the dog in the house. Alright, so we got 32 to 32 outside, and then our front to back of the mount is going to be here, let's say 44. Alright, and let's go ahead and measure our camera. So this little guy, our width, let's just go ahead and make that 20. It's okay to give yourself a little room. Draw another picture here of a square, 20 width. And depth, we're going to include the screen, because if I'm changing channel, I'm just going to pop the camera out. We'll go ahead and go 10. And then I'm going to measure the diameter of where the camera comes out, and that's going to be 8, ladies and gentlemen. Just draw a little circle here and put an 8. Alright, the last thing we need to do is figure out how much space, because I'm going to have the back open so this part fits out. So I'm going to pop this back into place real quick. We're going to need, let's give it 9. I'm just going to write lead. So 9 wide. And then the space between the board and the lead, I'm going to want, let's go 5. Alright, this should be enough information for us to go to the design software and go through that. So, little story, some of you may be curious where Flynoceros comes from. And I found this out when I started talking to Josh more and getting more involved with Flynoceros. Is he uses a program called Rhino, Rhinoceros 3D Modeling, which is also the same 3D modeling program that I used in high school, coming up and learning how to I'm gonna murder my dog. Not actually, I love my dog to death. She's just very loud. So Rhinoceros is a great program. It's what I learned 3D modeling on. Let me go ahead and pop that on. There we go. Go ahead and pop that on. And so Rhino is a great program. There's a lot of different stuff out there with AutoCAD, SolidWorks. There's tons of stuff out there. So it's really just using what you like. And I already know this. So let's go ahead and start out by laying out where our mounting holes are going to be. So we're going to go over here to the little circle jaunt. It's an official term. So, and then I'm putting in the radius here, so we need it. It's an M3, we need 3 millimeters, so we're going to go 1.5 radius. And then we're going to go take the line, go on the quad there, go straight down, and we need a width of 32. We'll zoom out. Plop that dude there, hit OK, and now we're going to select this, copy, take that back. I'll grab this end, and we're going to pop that right there. Hit OK. So now we're going to draw a line from here this way, and that's going to be 36. Oops. Now we're going to hit copy again. We're going to select this one and this one, and then hit OK, and grab from this point and move it there. Boom. So there are our mount holes, and I'm going to go ahead, go midpoint here, and midpoint here, and that's the center of the mass right there. So we're going to delete this one, delete this one. Alrighty. So that's where we're mounting at, and then I want to. Hopefully y'all enjoy this. I actually talk like this while I'm doing this. So now we need front to back being 44. So I'm going to start in the center, go 22, pop that, and then go back 44. So my center line, so I'm going to delete that. So there's our front to back with that point. So this will all stay two-dimensional for a couple minutes, and then it'll open up. So I think what I want to do, in the case of at least the rear mount, is I'm going to go this way and this way. So these are going to be the holes where the screw goes through. And then we're going to go to the center. Come on, there it is. And we're going to bring it out to the edge. Alright, so we got that there. I could be wrong. We can always delete it. I think it's going to work out. That should be dead even right there. Boom. All right, cool beans. Now the next thing I want to do, so this is the back and this is going to be the front. So I want to go ahead and figure out my width for that battery lead to come through, which is going to be 9 wide. So we go down to 9. I'm going to take this and we're going to move it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hold off on that. Let's keep working on our footprint here. So, okay, sorry, I lost my train of thought there, and I know exactly what I want to do now. So that's just going to be our top footprint. We're going to leave that alone for a minute. And we're going to come over here, and I'll tell you what we are going to do. We're going to start at this point. We're going to come down. If we need 12.5 room for the stack, and I want, let's say I want let's go 2.5 millimeter thickness of the TPU below. We're going to go ahead and make this 15. Coming around, and what I'll do is basically you're going to get a block shape, and then I'm going to like carve it out. You'll see exactly what I'm doing. Alrighty, so let's just cut that there for right now. Alright, so the next thing I want to do, I want to check my linear dimension between here and here. That's 22. Yeah, that'll be plenty of room. So next thing is we're going to click on this edge. We're going to bring it down. And this time we're going to go that 12.5 that we measured on the stack. Come over here. Oops, not what I wanted. I would like to make note that there are much more efficient ways to do this. Watching Josh do these designs, man, he just cruises through it. It's nuts to watch. All right, so we got that box cut out. So when I measured the overall thickness, or there to there, so we need 14. I'm going to take that to about, we'll say there. So basically, as we're staring at this block right here, this is where the stack's going. This is the back where it's going to mount. This is the front where it's going to mount, and then this is the inside part of where the battery is going to wrap around. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is Oh, that's right. I don't have that right now. Okay. I'm going to move this over. Go. That's actually not what I wanted. Now I should be able to do that. So now if that's going to be our inner point, this is all very, very blocky, but we're gonna fix that. Let's go ahead, let's cut a line from here. Let's go to about there. So there's a couple different ways to actually design these models. So what I'm doing here is I'm essentially making a two-dimensional object from a side profile, and then I'll make it a 3D object, where there's a lot of other ones that are more so you like can start with the block and carve out of it. So are you going to carve the statue out of marble, or are you going to build it up like a 3D model type thing? So I actually want to keep everything even. I'm going to take this, I'm going to mirror it. Just like that. And let's see if I can do this. Yeah, there we go. So that'll be a nice little pod down at the bottom. And that's way too thin. So what we're going to do, let's try doing this. I'm going to grab this tool. I'm going to start here. I'm going to pull it out. That's too steep. Yeah. Do it like that. We're going to trim. This is our cutting object. And this is our cutting object. Cool. Trim again. This is the cutting objects. Alright, so that right there is a good rough start to make. So we're going to highlight going to hit group. This isn't necessary, but it's easy for selecting purposes. I'm going to highlight that whole thing, hit enter. These are all a group. And then, sorry, I'm just checking stuff real quick. Alright, we'll just leave that there. Alright, so go over to surface, create a surface. Okay. So now we have our basic side view surface. And then we want to go ahead, and if our outside to outside's 32 for the mounting holes, let's go ahead and go, I'm going to go 36. We can always trim the fat. So we go to extrude surface, 36. Cool, so if we go here, go shaded. That kind of gives you a rough look at what's going on there. All right. So let's go ahead and make our VTX, or VTX and camera holder. So we need an inside that is, I'm going to go 10 by 20. So that's going to be the inside of the box. And we can go ahead and turn that into a surface. You can also go through and like just do this as a solid. It's simple enough. This is a old man stuck in his ways. Let me double check a measurement here. Do this 14 tall. 14. And then we're going to go around, pull this side out. And from dead center, we're going to make a cylinder. Oh, that's not what I wanted. We're just going to pull this out. We got ortho on, so we're just going to move it up. And pull that in like that. So this, we're going to go ahead and make a union between these two. And this is just going to be our camera. Like, that's pretending that it's the camera. So we're going to go ahead and rotate it. And I'm going to do, I normally fly between 20 and 25 degree camera angle. Let's go 25. So there's our faux little camera box that's going to sit there. So what I think I would like to do is is because if we look at it and we move this whole group up like this, we're gonna need a little more support. Move it this way. Center that dude up. So it's sticking out a little bit at the bottom, but we're going to move it up. So I could technically just remove all of what takes up this space on here out and leave it at that. But I think we're going to want a little more protection up and around. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to take this box and let's scale it. Just gonna make it a little, this isn't gonna be an exact measurement at all. We're just gonna wing it. Chicken wing it. All right, and now I'm gonna extrude that. I'm going to make this one just a little shorter. You'll see what I'm doing in a second. So now we're going to take this and rotate it. At 25 before. So now we're there. And we're going to take this and move it up just like that. Turn it on, snap off. Center that dude like that, and that's giving us a little bit more coming up out. So yeah, that looks good. I'm happy with that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a union between this piece of the poly surface and that piece we just made. Hit OK. Alright, so now that is all one unit. And then we're going to take our camera group right here, and we're going to go up to solid difference, select poly surfaces to subtract from. That's this. Gonna hit OK, and we're going to hit this to cut it, and boom. Check that out. So our camera should just slide right in there and be good to go. Now, something that we need to take into account for is the cable that's running out of the camera that needs to come down here and through. So let's go ahead. And it's on if we're facing the back of the quad, it's going to be on the left side. So let's just make a little cylinder real quick. We'll go. We'll go like that. Pop that dude up. And we're going to rotate it at the same angle. Turn on, snap back on. Go from the corner, boom, 25 degrees, and then take this up. On snap can be your friend, and it can be a pain in the ass. All right. Center there, let's bring it back just a little bit more. I'm okay with it cutting into the, and then bring it straight down and then back up a little bit. There we go. That should work. Just take it back a tinge. All right, good enough for government work. Select the body, okay, boom, bam. All right, now we have a little spot for our wiring to go through, and that will be good to come in and slide around. I thought about putting a groove in here, but I'm really not worried about it. So let's go ahead, and I'd like to put, it's really not too bad. I was thinking I'd like to put a little bit of a taper going right here. For the heck of it, let's do it. So this is how, if you want to just do a quick little taper, go over to surface, and there's like rectangle jaunts. You can do bam, that gives you a surface, and now we can highlight it, move it out. Let's do a little rotation here, on snap back on. And just because I like continuity and numbers and stuff, since our camera angle's at 25, let's do 25 degrees. Okay. So this one, just because of how it did, we'll move it this way. I want to come in a little more. On snap, you are my enemy. Okay, so now that we have this piece here, you can see it's kind of slicing that little dude right there. We're going to go up to mirror, put on snap back on, let's find a midpoint, flip it, boom, now we got the two. So now that we got that, let's go ahead and do a split. Alright, this is what we're splitting. These are our cutting surfaces. Boom. So it looks like nothing happened, but you click on that, gone, 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 gone. This is that surface. We can go ahead and delete that. And the curve, I want to move the curve just in case we need it for reference. Okay, so now we have that little like hook back there. This is coming together. It doesn't have to be anything overly crazy. I mean, it's about functioning. So now we need to get into cutting out our areas, like for our battery lead to come through, and for our screw holes. And also, I'm going to do something where we're actually going to slide a press fit or nut up in there, so we can just do the screw down from the top, and it should be good. So let's go ahead, and because I was a goober and I did this earlier, deleted those ones, let's go ahead and mirror these. Select that one, select that one. The midpoint, boom. Alright, so we got our screw holes back. I don't need this anymore. Don't need this. So we're going to go ahead and turn our circles. Surface. Extrude. Select our surfaces, enter, and we're just going to drag those down. So what I like to do, just to be sure, is we're going to go ahead and group. Alright, now it's a group. I'm just going to move it up a little bit. And we're going to do our difference. Select the model, select a group, boom. So now we have M3 screw holes. I can go ahead and delete. And guys, if you're working on this project and you do something and something gets screwed up, the undo button is your best friend. So now what I would like to do is go ahead and make the opening for our little hex nuts to fit in. Let me see if I can find one around here. Oh, and I probably didn't mention, I'm going to try to use nylon fasteners as much as I can in this. It's so light that it shouldn't be a problem. Alright, so I got a hex nut, and I'm going to pull out the calipers. And the big thing is I'm going to measure this. So I'm getting a reading of, let's say, 5.5 with a little bit of play in it. You don't want to make it the exact size of the nut because you're not going to be able to fit it down in the print. So if it's 5.5, we're going to go ahead and do 6. So let's do this. Where's my center? Give me the center. There's the center. I already got 6 sides on there. Hit enter. Ooh. And I'm just gonna, just for testing's sake. So I got 6 there, but let's do a linear dimension. Yeah, it's way too big. Here's an easier way to do it. Let's find our center. That's not it. Let's go ahead and make a I don't know if that's how I want to do it. I don't think it is. Let me go ahead and measure from corner to corner. That should be 6. So let's see if we're doing a radius type thing. Yeah, that looks right. Let's do that. Alright, so we got those. Let's go ahead and do a copy. What up, Snap? Alright, so we're putting this pattern. So get it there. Okay. I don't need this one anymore. So just like we were doing before. Grab all our little hexes here, surfaces, extrude. Now we're going to grab our screws or hex surfaces. I mean, and also, guys, this may be boring to some. I enjoy doing this a lot. It's fun. All right, so I'm going to group. I can spell. Select, select, select. Alright, so now this is what we got to do here. So I got my group and everything's level right here. We need to have that little bit of space between in the print so it gives it something to hold on to, but we don't need a whole lot. Let's go ahead and let's just say like right there. I'm happy with that. So now we're going to do what we did before with the difference. Select our model, hit enter, select that, boom. So what we've done there is we've now created hex holes for our nuts to fit in there. gotta protect the nuts. All right, guys, we're getting close to wrapping this first model up. Let's go ahead and put our little battery lead thing here. So what I want to do is my handy dandy thing here. We are gonna make, let's try making a square here. So we're gonna go down 6, and then 9. Whoa. Do that one more time. Let's go down 6. I think it's gonna 9, 6, and then yeah, and then we're gonna do that. That one you can make as long as you want. So we're gonna take it, we're gonna move down. And then what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna take, because basically the leads are off the board a little bit, and I want to put a little bit of a spacer there where I still have a print. So we're gonna go, I think we're measuring at 5. Come on now. 5, click that there, hit OK. Now we're going to move this. Right there, and then we're going to move it over to the center. Turn on, snap off. Center that dude up. I'm just eyeballing right there. Alright, cool. That'll work. So now we are going to go up and do difference, object, enter, select object, and that's gone. So our lead should squeeze right through there, and it should be good to go. All right, y'all. I'm good with that for now. So let's just take the object and move it away from everything else. We're gonna go up to export. Save this as an STL. Call it biff'd Icarus V1. I always do V1, V2 because this very well could not be the last thing that I do on it. I'll probably make some more modifications. So we hit save. Okay. Okay. And then we're gonna go, let's see if I can add it. I'm gonna open up Cura and see if I can actually go ahead and add that as a screen to watch. Cool. It should be working. Please excuse the amateur hour formatting here. Haven't done a live stream like this before. Alright, so go to my STLs. There you go. Open that. And there's our model. I'm going to rotate it this way. Lay it flat. Guys, I don't know, just looking at this, I might end up making it a little less bulky, but we'll try it out anyway. One thing I wanted to do on my supports, let's go back to zigzag. And this enable roof and floor thing, it's good on some prints, but man, it can be a pain. So let's go ahead and prepare. 2 hours and 5 minutes. Here's a little sneak peek of what my settings are. Save file. Boom. Now we're good for print. Alright, y'all. I appreciate you hanging with me. And if you have any questions or anything about this kind of stuff, hit me up. All the products that I'm using on this build, you can get from Rhino. If you want one, but you don't feel like building it, you can hit me up. I will gladly build you one. We can price it out and stuff. I won't charge for anything on my end. As long as you're buying from Rhino and helping the brand that takes care of me so much, I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you would like more videos like this, let me know. I can definitely, I feel like I can make it a little more entertaining. But yeah, so I appreciate everybody, and have a fantastic Sunday, and be good to one another.